Hey there everyone, welcome to, well, we haven't quite figured out what to call this video presentation yet, but essentially this is a combination of the Rest Hold and the Ask Him, which at least for now are being collectively referred to as the Internet Wrestling Community Outreach, because that's what I've always classified the fan interaction-based segments of the website, but I'm not too sure that title really pops for the YouTube channel. I mentioned to everyone a few times recently that not only are we in the midst of trying to figure out a different way to organize the way that we present the show to you and organize all the different segments and such, but I'm also still looking for more responses on what you guys would like to see us do with these kind of different videos in the future and what we should name this segment. If we continue to have the Ask Him combined with the Rest Hold and the fan-related content and all the other kind of things like that, we're not too sure what we're doing yet, so we want to get as much feedback from you guys as possible. But until then, the first thing that we're going to be taking care of is Smark My Words, my pick for my favorite fan-submitted comment of the week. Lots of good discussion going down during the draft and Monday Night Raw, but the one that stood out to me was Ben Guest. He said, Goldust got Snickers, Nia Jax already making an impact on Raw. If you don't know what that joke is about, go back and listen to some older episodes. There have been some pretty mean-spirited jokes that I've been putting out there for Nia Jax, but nonetheless, I still find it funny, even though it's mean. So thank you, Ben Guest, and big thanks to all those who left comments all over the place on YouTube, Twitter, and so on and so forth, including our Facebook group, where a lot of this chatting goes down. You can find that at facebook.com/group/themegamaniacs. Start sending in your questions for the July mailbag special, as that's going to be happening on the next episode of Smack Talk. You can do so by tweeting at SmarkOutMoment with the hashtag mailbag, or better yet, leaving an email through the contact form of the website. Just go ahead and pick our brains about whatever it is that you want us to answer. If you're looking to help support the growth of Smark Out Moment, here are a few ways in which you can help us out. You can take a Smark Out Moment sign to a wrestling show as part of the Sign Me Up initiative. You can donate money through PayPal, YouTube's fan funding method, or Patreon. You can also buy some t-shirts, mugs, and other merchandise over at our Redbubble and TeePublic shops until WWE just takes them all down. Those bastards. Took down 4 more designs this week. It's ridiculous. But perhaps most importantly, you can spread the word about our website and our channel by social media methods. Every time that you retweet us, or you like and share something that we post on Facebook, or you post a link to an article on Reddit, or any message boards that you guys are a part of, that one in particular can help quite a bit, so don't skip over that one. All that stuff can help out a lot. Even as trivial as it seems, when you guys give our YouTube videos a thumbs up instead of just watching it and moving on, all of that can add up. And that's what we need a lot more of here to make this an even bigger channel, get you guys even better and more amazing stuff going forward. And the same thing applies to Fanboys Anonymous, which is also in a bit of a transitional phase to focus even more on movies and all the other kind of nerdy stuff. We got San Diego Comic-Con coming up this week, and it's tough to do this all myself. So go ahead and follow fanboysanonymous.com, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and everything else like that. And that brings us to the major topic of this video, the wrestling trivia question of the week, otherwise known as the Ask Him, which really shouldn't be called the Ask Him anymore because it's not focusing around the panelists asking me questions. But whatever, you guys don't want me to rename that after all these years, right? I don't know, maybe you do. If you do, leave a comment below and let me know. You know, who knows? If we're in a transitional phase, maybe we'll just do a big rehaul and, get rid of that too. Anyway, let's look back on last week's set of questions, which were, for the panel, which champion was stripped of his title when he was drafted from ECW to Raw? And the answer to that was Bobby Lashley in 2007. And to the audience was, who was the first WWE superstar to take a championship to another brand after being drafted? The answer to that one was John Cena when he took over the WWE Championship from SmackDown to Raw. So who got it right and wrong and everything else that we need to recap from your comments? Well, let's take a look here. The Dominator 39 says the Brooklyn Brawler or Ace Steel. Bobby Lesnar G86 says, Tony, thanks for reading my comments, and I have had sex, so fuck you, Peyton. Guess 5 retorts, your hand doesn't count. Someone to Doom says, Bobby Lashley, good job. If you're answering the other question that we already told you the answer for. He also says, fuck Lenny Poffo, fuck Dark Balor, may he rest in peace. Spelled peace wrong. And fuck the interminable wait for Tuesday, which will already be past when you guys read this. Yeah, you got that correct. And of course, fuck the fact that Tony finally had the rest on for the rest hold, like I've often suggested, and then next week says he's never doing it again. Yeah, it's just a little bit too hard to do that, and I mean, even especially with this week where we've got basically 2 main events, it's tough to kind of ask the guys to sit around and listen to me do the same old shtick and all that other kind of stuff, so I don't know. We're still trying to figure this out. Maybe we're going to do something in the future with that. It's just kind of a means where I need to figure out how I can get these plugs out to the people that are first-time listeners and people that really need to get the updates for the different plugs, because I know a lot of people don't really check out the plugs at the end of the show. So I know the rest hold's not really everybody's favorite thing and all that, but we need to figure out some kind of a compromise here, everybody. John Trudell says, GAFG, theme for John Cena. Oh, so I should have GAFG. I guess that's how it's supposed to go. There you go. It's kind of a supplemental thing instead of doing outros, right? Declan Macri says, personally, I'm a big fan of the 5-part structure, but if it's easier for you to do 3 or 4, then you should do that. I'll still watch regardless. Thank you for the support, Declan. We are not too sure. It's sometimes easier to do the 5-part thing because of the way that I have to process the videos, but sometimes the 3-part's better. More so, I think going forward, what's going to be easier is recording smaller amounts on different days and kind of splitting it throughout the week instead of doing a one sort of big shot iTunes podcast style thing that's broken up into 3, 4, or 5 different segments. But man, it's tough. I don't know. We're gonna have to see going forward how much time we have to devote to watching SmackDown, and how that plays into the mix and all that. Because sometimes we can record on Tuesday nights. We can't really do that if we're watching SmackDown. So I don't know. Christopher Marin says, I'm just guessing that it was John Cena. He gets that correct. Dirkamania says, I don't know, so I'll just guess Brock Lesnar. Peter Piccinini gets John Cena correct. Bobby Lesnar G says, I don't know, Chris Benoit. William Carey, John Cena. Guest 5 says, hit the road, Jack, cause your hair ain't long no more, no more, no more, no more. Lots of singing on this edition of the Rest Hold / Ask Him / IWC Outreach. But he also says, Tony is always so quiet compared to Mike and Drew, who seem really loud. Wego is in the middle. It might be my microphone. Maybe I'll tweak the settings this week. I don't know. But those are the last week's set of question answers and all that other kind of stuff, which means that I need to give you guys the question for this week. And since there's no panel doing this, it's just one question for you guys out there in audience land. So since the talk of the week is still the draft and we've had our general managers for Raw and SmackDown announced, which general manager was drafted to the opposite brand in 2004? That is your question for this week, so go ahead and leave your comments below, not just for the trivia question, but for all the other questions that I posed to you guys in this video as well, because I really would like to get your input on how we can best structure this channel going forward. But we still got more content coming your way. Stay tuned, everybody. Subscribe if you haven't already to get the notifications of when all these videos are coming up, and we'll see you in the next part.